So here we are, the Chapman Mills Conservation Area in the south end of Ottawa. It's a very nice spot located on the river and actually surrounded on two sides here by very expensive homes which go up into the $1 million range. So this is a neat little spot. Now for Pota, this is Victor Echo 1385. So you can see in a minute, we'll take you down to the river and you'll see what we're talking about. There are lots of little observation platforms like one I'm on here. This is the Rideau River coming out of Ottawa. Now what you're going to notice is it seems quite low. It's part of the Rideau Canal system and they adjust the flow. So this time of the year they let quite a bit of the water out. And as you can see on the far side, you've got some of those big homes we're just talking about. It's hard to believe this is in the middle of the south end of Ottawa. For all of you who think of Ottawa as being in the Great White North, here we are, 27th of November, so basically 4 weeks to go until Christmas, and you don't see any snow here. It's something like 8 degrees centigrade, 48 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. And this is Ottawa. Hard to believe. There's a network of trails through here that actually stretch quite far off into the distance. You can walk them. There's a boardwalk section here as well, which you can see behind me. It's very well done. It's not a huge park, but on the weekend in the summer, good luck trying to get a parking space here. Well, as mentioned, we're about a week after we made the first part of the tape here with the introduction. And I think generally what I like to do when I go to a park that I haven't done before, I always like to go out a day before, if possible. Decide where I'm going to park, take the intro video so I don't waste time. When I do activate a park, I generally don't have very much time, 2-3 hours, including travel time. So it's a bit of a rush, and this way I can get the videos out of the way first. So as you saw, that last video was November the 27th, and there was no snow, and it was actually quite warm for up here in Canada. Today, it's not much different. Temperatures are definitely colder. It's about 32 Fahrenheit, 0 Celsius. More of a raw cold than anything, but again, still no snow. They had called for some snow today, but they've now changed that forecast, so I'm not seeing any. Anyways, we're here. We're going to give it a try. This park has not been activated that often. I think 9 attempts, 8 activations, most of the people getting fairly low numbers as far as contacts go. Again, because of time constraints and work and everything else, I'll aim for 20 and see how fast it goes after that. And that's basically going to take up my 2 hours. So we're starting with the 20-meter hamstick on top. I have a 40-meter hamstick with me as well. And I'll see how 20 goes to start off. So there you go. Let's have a bit of fun. I'll show you the setup. It's the one I use almost all the time. So here we are back at the park a week later. You can still no snow. It's about roughly 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. You can hear the traffic in the background, a little bit noisier than I had hoped, but there you go. Now that's a 20-meter hamstick, MFJ hamstick up on the roof. And we're just about ready to go. So this is our setup. That's my ICOM 7300 sitting on the dash. Antenna's already plugged in. First rule, plug that antenna in. And you can see going over here, there's the battery I'm using. This is the Markham one, the 10 amp hour. And it's given me super service to date. And of course, there's my card just so that I don't forget where I am. So that's the setup. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We're going to give it a try and see what happens. And here we go. CQ Pota, CQ Pota, CQ Parks on the Air, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec at Victor Echo 1385, standing by. Hi folks, so here we are, sort of the wrap up at this point, and what I'd like to do is what I do every time, which is lessons learned. It's probably part of the most important part of the video. I guess let's break it down as follows. Number one, expect a lot more calls than what you're going to get. Normally when I go to a park, I have to fight to get 10 to 13 calls. It's just the way it's been every activation except this one. So this time I wasn't expecting the huge volume that came in, but I was basically prepared for it. Number two, don't rely on tech all the time, have backup, hard copy backup. In this particular case, I went with my iPad. The idea was to log everything on the iPad and sort of just have a nice, easy afternoon. Now, first, the iPad didn't cooperate. It decided to give me problems. But I was fortunate in that I still had my notepad, which basically is broken down into 10 calls a page, so I can go through them very quickly, all the information I need. And I had that with me, and I had quite a stack of paper, which again, I don't usually bring that much paper. I needed all of it at this time round. So yeah, always have backup because you may, your tech may just not work, as I found out. And last thing, it's a small one, but it worked out to be quite important. If you're doing hard copy, what are you writing with? Now, in my case, I had a mixture of pens, I had some mechanical pencils and what have you. And I found that even at around the 30-degree Fahrenheit mark, the pens were not cooperating all that much. They were starting to skip, they were starting to freeze up, whatever. However, the one I have, it's marked liquid ink, so I'm assuming they mean some type of gel. That one worked perfectly and worked throughout the entire afternoon. It got everything down that I needed, no problems, no skipping, no missing of information. And on top of that, I still had some mechanical pencils as backup, so I was okay there. So I guess really in the end, it's a big thank you for all of those people who were in the pileup. It was quite a big pileup. I haven't worked one like that since the 1990s in a contest, so it was a lot of fun. People were very patient and certainly allowed me to take my time and get the information I needed, so it's definitely very much appreciated. So for all those hunters out there, you certainly made my day. I can tell you the score at the end of the day was 87 contacts made in 1 hour. Spoke to 23 states, 3 provinces, and we had 13 park-to-park contacts. So it was an excellent day all around. So thank you, folks. Thanks for everyone who made the day, and thanks for those of you who are watching the video. Keith, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec, wishing you a great day.